What's going on, guys? Waco from Revolution here with Constant Qualm. But before we get started, Constant, I want to talk about one of my favorite terms, and that is the word dope, right?
Okay.
So in the old days, it used to be a reference to someone that was like mentally weak, like he's a dope or she's a dope or whatever.
Oh yes, that's right, yeah.
And then suddenly in the 80s, through rapper parlance, it became a term to represent all that was beneficent to humanity.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out why, until it dawned on me that dope actually is abbreviation for the word dopamine.
Oh.
Which is the neurotransmitter
that,
that in our nervous systems releases pleasure. Right?
Yes, that's right.
And it was this sensation that I experienced in 2021 when I first saw the Tonda PF created by my friend Guido Torini for Parmigiani Fleurier.
That's cool.
And cut to 2024, I think this watch is even more relevant than ever. Why? Because it is the greatest expression of micro nuanced details. Right? First of all, let's talk about the size on the wrist. So he was not trying to chase absolute slimness, but he just wanted the perfect proportion watch. And at 40 mm in terms of diameter, but just 7.8 mm in terms of thickness, it is actually quite a bit slimmer than a couple of the other watches.
That's right, we all know.
We all know who those are. And it's the way in which the lugs form a curve that respects the morphology of the wrist that makes the watch so beautiful and elegant on the wrist. And then, as I said, it's also about micro details. So talk to me, Constant, about some of your favorite details about this watch.
One of them is definitely the micro-fluting platinum bezel that is, I would say, is the definition of ultra luxury.
Yes.
You know, quiet luxury in a way as well. You know, a second thing, of course, is the guilloche pattern is actually a barley corn guilloche, which is incidentally unique for Parmigiani Fleurier.
In fact, Guido Torini toyed with different sizes of this barley corn pattern using his CNC machines. And if he went one size smaller, when you put the sapphire crystal on the watch, the pattern disappears. He arrived at the perfect size that's still visible and visually appealing.
Yeah, that's right. And last but not least, of course, is the flare lugs.
I love the lugs on this watch. So, you know, it's interesting because we've been through the era of movements. I think we're kind of in the era of dials right now. You know, everyone's obsessed with guilloche à main, stone dials. But the next era to me is the era of lugs. And I think that for integrated bracelet watches, this may just have the sexiest lugs around.
It is, yeah. I would say for all integrated bracelet, let's not name brands again, this has the most sexy lugs I've seen in an integrated bracelet sports watch.
So guys, what we're talking about is the lugs are flared. And then what's really lovely about it is the facet that's facing the inside of the case is mirror polish as well. Again, Guido Torini's wonderful attention to detail.
Really.
And then these lugs, these flared, sexy lugs kind of flow beautifully with a gentle taper into the bracelet. It remains constant through the entirety of the bracelet and the deploying clasp. But if you look at it, the width of the bracelet is just perfect,
It's
right?
perfect.
Sometimes you have deployments on integrated bracelet watches that are just a little bit too thick.
It's true.
Would you agree?
That's right. Yeah, I agree. Most of them, it's not super comfortable to wear, to be honest. And I would say one thing about the Parmigiani Tonda PF is that it's one of the most comfortable integrated bracelet I have worn in a long time, to be honest. I know many of them, right?
He owns all of them. So let's talk about the creation of our version called the Serenissima, right?
That's right.
So as I said, in 2021, I saw this watch and I was absolutely blown away by it. And I kept badgering Guido, Guido, please help me to make a limited edition of this watch. And finally he said, Wei, you know, you're my friend. Tell me, what is it that you would like? And I said, Guido, I dream of a watch with the perfect hue, a color that expresses my love for one of the most beautiful locations on earth, and that's Venice.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite places.
Well, incidentally, I just got engaged in Venice last year, right?
Yes.
And actually, it's from this place where I got engaged, the Gritty Palace, where I look out into the Gulf of Venice, which is in the North Adriatic, and during sunrise or sunset, it is staggering in its beauty. It really is like a Botticelli painting. It is this perfect hue, this concupiscent color of like kind of rose or Bellini. And when I told Guido this, he started laughing and said, I know exactly the color that I want to make for you.
Okay.
So when we first discussed it, we were like, oh, is it a salmon watch? Is it not? You know, but in fact, we like to call this color Serenissima, which in English means serenity, but it's also the nickname for Venice. And I'm going to show you guys a picture now of the sunrise in the Gulf of Venice, and we're going to dissolve into the dial as well. And as you can see, to me, that's a perfect representation. So I actually want to bring this up as well because this year, Parmigiani Fleurier also launched a watch with a similar color, but that's not the same at all, and that is the golden Sienna.
Yes.
Tell me about that watch, Constant.
For Watches and Wonders, Parmigiani removed the date for the Tonda PF, a no-date version, and has this a darker, I would say, it looks like a salmon dial at first glance, but it's actually very dark. It's more like a darker brown tone. But they call it the golden sienna, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a dark gold, sort of like a vintage champagne color, right?
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do now is put the watches side by side for you so you can actually see the difference in color. And you can see actually they're extremely distinct.
Yeah,
and you know, the color of Serenissima, you know, because Guido Torini is really interested in Le Corbusier's color keyways. It's a color that he feels that expresses mood. And for him, the mood of Serenissima is about brightness, light, triumph, victory, and joy.
Oh.
Right? So, hey, great.
Amazing.
So when we launched our Serenissima special edition in 2022, we did a 25-piece run of this watch,
right, yeah.
and it sold very well.
Oh my God, it sold out instantly. Some of my friends couldn't even get it. Nope, didn't get it. He told me.
Sorry, no. However, nope, we have good news for you because as a prelude to our 20th anniversary, which is next year, we have decided to make 20 pieces of the Serenissima Due. And how does this watch differ from the first one? Well, in the date wheel, because we love the date wheel and decided to keep it, instead of the character 20, you have a Revolution star in this beautiful slate gray, which is incidentally one of the tones that underlies the salmon color to give it this wonderful color modulation, so it complements it perfectly.
Oh, okay, very nice.
So for those of you who didn't get the Serenissima the first time, this is now the Serenissima Due, which will be launched as our 20th anniversary prelude, and we are just absolutely delighted, and would love to thank Guido Torini and Parmigiani Fleurier for this opportunity.
So don't miss it, guys. It is the Serenissima back again, but with a special touch.
And guys, as always, if you like our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment below because we love to hear from you and we love you guys.
See you guys.
Take care.